So you need two types of people to run your business. Which one of these are you and which one are you missing? Hey guys, Abby Johnson here with Matterhorn Business Development. I am the chief coach here and I help my clients increase their revenue while also maintaining and increasing profitability. Today, I want to talk about the two types of people that are needed to make a business grow, because I was having this conversation with a client recently and it made me think about my own experience with this within Matterhorn. So I kind of wanted to chat with you about this. So it's really important to have these two very different types of people running a business, and it can be very frustrating for both of them to have the other one around, but they are very important to keep things moving and growing. The first person you need is a visionary. This is the person who is setting goals, who is setting the vision and the path of the business. At Matterhorn, we like to call it the summit, the top of the mountain. Where are you going? What are you headed for? So this person is the big thinker. They might have some outlandish ideas to other people. This person is usually maybe the more entrepreneurial minded. The downside to this person is sometimes they have too many ideas, which we actually have a video about if you want to check that out, what to do if you have too many ideas. But this is the ideas guy, the big thinker, like I said. The other person you need is the more operations-minded person. So this is the person who thinks more about the day-to-day, how to actually execute everything, the steps that it's going to take to get from A to Z, all the moving pieces and how they fit together. So they're supposed to take what the visionary comes up with and execute it and make sure it happens. I know in the EOS system, this is called an integrator. For some people, this is the chief operating officer or an operations manager. It's called a lot of things, but it's really the right hand of the CEO who is going to make sure that that CEO's vision gets executed and is successful. Now, what can happen here is each of these two people think very differently from one another, and I see it all the time how they can get frustrated with each other. The visionary has these really big ideas, and the operations person can get overwhelmed or think that it's too outlandish and that the visionary isn't thinking about all the little steps that have to be done to make that happen. And then the visionary can get frustrated with the operations person because they're bringing up problems all the time and all these little details that don't mean anything, and it can cause some tension sometimes or some arguments. But like I said, both of these roles are really important. The conversation I had to have with a client recently was with this operations-minded person who is getting very frustrated with the visionary and his outlandish ideas. But the thing is without the visionary, that business wasn't going to move forward or grow. It would have stayed stagnant, and anything that stays stagnant too long is going to drop down. It's kind of like a law of the universe. It's never going to just stay the same forever. So you need a visionary there to kind of push the boundaries and make those big decisions and big leaps forward. An example of this was here at Matterhorn. My dad was definitely the visionary. He had these crazy ideas. I'm the operations-minded person. I am very detail-oriented. As soon as he had an idea, I would start thinking about the most minuscule details having to do with that. And I would get frustrated sometimes or be like, oh, how are we going to do that? How are we going to do that in just a week? But in the end, it was good for us, and we needed his vision to have something to go after and push and grow. Now, not having him around, I've had to kind of learn how to do that myself. I have Neil here and we're kind of making the vision together, but we really needed both of these minds in the business to make new ideas and grow the business. I'm going to give a specific example here. So one thing that Greg had envisioned that we haven't been able to carry out as of yet, but he really wanted to have other Matterhorn mentors and to train kind of a whole team of Matterhorn mentors who could have junior mentors under them. He already figured out the pay structure for them and how he could provide a very good living for these people by having them trained up to be coaches. So when he first brought this idea to me, I mean, this was, our channel here probably only had 1,000 subscribers. Like, we were not at the level that we are at now. And he was already thinking this far into the future. And I was like, Dad, we barely have figured out getting clients for ourselves? How are we going to get clients for a bunch of other coaches? And who's going to process the credit cards? Are they all going to need Matterhorn email addresses? They're all going to need their own business cards. We're going to have to make a whole training program for them. So this is where my mind went, was on all of these details. But my dad was like, yeah, we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. But his carefree attitude is what would have made that actually happen and pulled me along with him. And that would have been a whole nother revenue stream for Matterhorn and would have grown the business. So his idea is still in my back pocket. We're going to figure out how to do that someday, maybe not as soon as he would have done it. But that's just an example of how you need a kind of carefree, flowy, big thinker in order to kind of pull the operations person along. But you do need that operations person to actually execute that. My dad would have had a much harder time executing that and probably would have forgotten some very important details if I hadn't been there to lay it all out for him and help make the actual action plan of how to execute that. So if you are one of these people and you don't have a counterpart that is the other thing, so if you're a visionary and you don't have an operations person, or if you're like me and you're very operations minded, but find yourself having trouble being a visionary or thinking big, I suggest trying to find that counterpart. Maybe you find a manager, your right-hand person who has those qualities that you don't have. And if you're a business owner and you feel bad watching this because you aren't a visionary and you're more operations minded, don't worry about it. Other people can help you. This is where you build your team and someone else can, help have those big ideas with you, or if you need to talk them out. If you do need help talking out ideas and feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, please check out our program, Adventure to Profit, down below. This is our group coaching program where you have direct access to me and I can help you figure out all of those problems that you're running into and how to overcome them. All right, so let me know down below, do you think you are a visionary or are you operations minded? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our next videos. And I want to let you know that you definitely need to check out our channel sponsors, MetaPulse. They are your one-stop shop for everything growth management. That's where I go to monitor my marketing results and see which of my marketing campaigns are actually working. I track it all with MetaPulse and it is a vital part of my business. So go check them out now for a free trial. You need two types of people to run your business. Which one of these are you and which one are you missing? And tonight on the yes.
Breaking news. Tonight, which one are you and which one aren't you?
Oh my God.